So we can thank my friend Kat over on Tumblr for this. I know this is very much out of the blue, and I didn't really make any announcements anywhere for this. This is just gonna be for fun. So let's have some fun. What do I want to do today? I don't even know. I guess I could tell Discord that this is going on. Let's see. And I don't even need my songs. Goodbye. Who knows what's going on? Alright, let's try this one more time. And then we'll probably just... Yeah, no, it doesn't want to work right now. Don't really know why. It's being finicky. What can I do? What can I do? What have I been wanting to do? That's a great question. I have not done anything that I actually want to do in like 2 days, it feels like. It's been a long couple of days. I'm sure I'm with the rest of y'all in that, you know, the quarantine honeymoon has ended and now I have to do homework and stuff, which really sucks, honestly. I'm not a big fan of the homework bit. Hi, Kat. Nice to see you. I'm debating what to draw. In case y'all haven't, you know, tuned into a YouTube stream before, my lag is super impressive. And it usually does take a minute for me to say something, for y'all to hear it, and then respond and me see that response. It's a very laggy little loop. Let's get some good music. Come on. Playlist, give me something. My voice is finally feeling better after like a week of not even like super sick, just not feeling great. I mean, there's a good idea. You should like this cat. Sorry if this cam is super shaky. I don't have my normal setup here with a much steadier desk. I'm not on hard floor right now. I'm on sad shag carpet. I'm at my parents' house, so everything's a little off kilter. such a burning candle, I can feel no pain. In the ice or in the sun, it's all the same. And I feel my heart is aching. Though it doesn't beat, it's breaking. And the pain here that I feel, try and tell me it's not real. I know that I am dead, yet it seems that I still have some tears to shed. Well, hello, me, myself, and I. Falling for forever, wonderfully wandering alone. What would my head be like if not for my shoulders, or without your smiles? May it follow you forever, may it never leave you. Sleep in the storm, may we stay lost on our way home. Come on with everything falling down around me. I'd like to believe all the possibilities. May I first just say I'm sorry, for I never felt like anybody. Man of many hats, although I never mastered anything. But I am 10 feet tall. I never felt much taller since the fall. Nobody seems to know my name. Don't leave me to sleep all alone. May we stay lost on our way home. Come on with everything falling down around me. I'd like to believe all the possibilities. Come on with everything falling down around me. I'd like to believe all the possibilities. Try not to mistake what you have with what you hate. It could leave. Come the morning, celebrate the night. It's the fall before the climb. Shall we sing? Morning, I fall forwards, you fall flat. And if the sun should lift me up to come back. So how is everyone surviving quarantine? I guess if you're not on quarantine yet, I'm assuming that you're seeing the state of the world and all of that. It feels like since my Jesus People school closed that the entire world has kind of lost its mind. And even before that, my parents had kind of put us on spring break isolation mode. Oh, thanks, Kat. Come on with everything falling down around me. I like to believe. I wonder if Discord will behave now. Let's see. And that's a no. No, Discord doesn't want to behave. Let's see how... Oh, wow, that's actually pretty good proportions. Except for Cole's, like, monster arm. Snow blows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. Kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried. Yeah, I tried to get this one started as quickly as possible. Um, and hey, drawing along with the stream is always super fun. Man, more people home than usual. You're telling me I am the oldest of 5 kids. So that's already a good amount of people. And here's the thing that really gets people is we range in age from, I'm 21. My youngest brother is 6 years old. So we have, me and my sister doing college work and trying to juggle the jobs that we're still able to go to. But we also have my younger brother who's doing high school and dual credit work. And my littlest brother who has a packet from kindergarten that he, does or does not have to finish in all actuality, honestly. If he doesn't want to do it or we can't find time to do it, there's no real worry there. But man, between that and my parents have been wanting chickens for so long, pretty much since we moved here. And they decided that now is the perfect time to get those chickens. So now we have 14 chickens, between 6 2-month-olds and 8 babies. One that crystallizes like an icy blast, never going back. So what has been the craziest thing to happen to y'all since we got put on quarantine? Mine definitely has to be the chickens and subsequent chicken coop that is being built in the backyard. What about y'all? Hello, Bumblebee. Y'all forgive me. It feels like it's been a really long time since I last streamed. So I've mixed up what URLs belong to what people off of YouTube. So I'll just be calling you your YouTube URL, and we're gonna leave it at that. Please don't climb into garbage cans. That's not good, and definitely not good considering the state of the world. Wash your hands, guys. Where have all the liars gone as the city's model gets pulverized? What's in love is now in debt on your birth certificate. So light this fucking match to light this fuse. Oh man, I was never so we did not have a computer growing up that the kids could use. The only computer we had in the house was a laptop that my dad used for law school. And that thing was unreliable as all hell, even whenever he was just trying to use it to write documents. He literally used to have to come to the university help desk that I work at now on such a frequent basis that my boss knows him by name. And, so I never got into, Wizards 101 or Club Penguin or anything like that. Do you not, my boat is that, there's stuff Link's Awakening that I just really should not buy right now because, you know, saving money. Is that the boat that you're in at the Animal Crossing, or just you feel like you play it too much? So don't look back. Nothing changes in suburbia. The St. Jimmy is a figment of your father's rage and your mother's love. Maybe they ain't in America. It's not over till you're underground. It's not over before it's too late. Oh, I feel you. I understand that. I guess luckily for me, I don't follow anyone who like posts a ton of Link's Awakening stuff, so I don't have to worry about that much. But I can totally understand wanting to keep all the game's little secrets and stuff until you can get back into it. I'm leaving you tonight. Every time I think to myself, I can hold that note, and then I almost choke myself out. You're gonna have your enemies, don't break, don't fall. I heard it all before. I'll smash my... Sort of. So, you guys missed the inspiration song right at the beginning of the video. Does anybody recognize this boy from stuff that I may have drawn like several months ago? A battle tragedy. I think the next one could be me. And mom's my rival. I said every I'm conspiracy. What nights, shadows. Oh yeah. You're gonna hide, making down alone. Subdivision, smile, laying it in, down, laying it up as we watch the world burn. So this is Cole from the Corpse Bride AU. Thanks! I really like the glowy bones. It's a bit of a departure from what we saw in the Corpse Bride movie, but I thought given Cole's canon ghostly past, it would work better for him than, say, you know, something that was stop motion animated. Hello. Subdivision, smile, make it down, make it up as we watch the world burn. So, Corpse Bride, you know, it's one of those Tim Burton movies, so it has that distinctive art style. But the gist of it is this gentleman, Victor, is going to get married. But it's a betrothal, so he has no idea who this girl is, has never met her. He's an actual literal ball of anxiety. Hashtag relatable. And messes up his wedding vows so bad at the rehearsal that he ends up running away and nervously reciting them in the woods, and accidentally puts his ring on a corpse whose hand was sticking up out from under a tree. And in her mind, he's married her. She takes him down to the land of the dead. It's a whole thing. And the entire movie comes from him trying to get back up to the land of the living and trying to get away from her. And her being convinced that, like, he's finally married her and she's found a husband and all these things. And meanwhile, up in the land of the living, there's a shady character trying to marry the woman that he was actually supposed to marry because he wants her money. Well, shang-a-lang and a sha-la-la-la-la thing. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie, and it's one of those that I really love because they take a rather cliche approach to showing the land of the dead, in that the land of the living is super bland and desaturated and boring, while the land of the dead is blacklit and frankly so much more alive. But dang if it doesn't look good. And the music is just so stellar. One of the things about this particular AU that always cracks up me and Mel is how much Pixel and Zane really stole the show. You know, we swapped out Victor for Nia, swapped out Victoria for Jay, and Cole here takes the place of Emily, the titular corpse bride. But Zane and Pix took the roles of side characters, and they took on the roles of multiple side characters, and it's turned into this whole beautiful good thing. If you're in the US, I know that it is currently on Netflix. I would definitely recommend giving it a watch and just enjoy the good macabre humor that comes with having a corpse as a main character. But, you know, Danny Elfman music, which is always a plus. If you enjoyed Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack, you will enjoy the Corpse Bride soundtrack. Nice before it gets out of hand. My baby, I'd really love to stay. We had a wham, bam, shang-a-lang and a sha-la-la-la-la thing. Wham, wham, shang-a-lang and a sha-la-la-la-la thing. Honestly, I just have a weakness for the stop motion movies. I wonder if we can get Mel to join in on this. She loves Ghost School. Stop motion is absolutely gorgeous. And I think a large part of why it's so gorgeous is just the sheer dedication it takes to make those movies. You know, like, this does not in any way happen overnight. You know, there's no, oh, well, just edit this one frame and it'll be fine. No, you have to start completely over And just 1 second of, or 1 minute of frame can take so long. Just the only people who do it are people who are absolutely crazy and love what they do. And that is the best. All right, let's see if I can get Discord to work. All right, we might have actually gotten this. Let's see if we can get Mel in. All right, let's see if this will work. Hey.
Hear me?
All right, I can hear you now.
Okay, I was possibly a little far away from my desk.
What's up? So I don't know how much you can actually...
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Oh wait, I just closed the live stream.
Oh no! I was about to say...
I was hearing myself on the live stream.
You gotta remember to mute the stream.
Like, oh no!
You gotta remember to mute the stream, Mel.
I am learning.
So yeah, I was about to say, I don't know how much you can see, but we are working on a Ghost Coal first song.
You were doing Corpse Bride again for a second.
Yeah, definitely Corpse Bride Coal. The first song that pops up today was one of the Corpse Bride soundtracks. So,
was it your favorite?
It 100% was.
I knew it.
God, I love that song so much. All right, so now we've got Mel up. How is everybody doing? Are you still able to hear me?
Yeah, no, I can.
Okay,
great. Like, how am I doing?
How are you doing? How's everyone in the stream doing? Has anyone gone actually, like, cabin fever crazy yet? Because I think my dad's close.
I mean, I gave Wu Unagami hair, so...
I will never be able to forget Unagami. Oh my god, of all the things. Y'all want to know how wild it is to just open up your phone and be like, oh cool, my friend Mel sent me a message. Can't wait to open this up. I always love talking to Mel. And it's just Unagami staring you in the face.
In my defense, the thought process was, what if Wu's man bun grew out when he was a teen, for Teen Wu?
Oh yeah, no, that's the other thing. It was not regular Sensei Wu, but with hair. No, it was teenage Wu with Unagami's hair piece. Oh my sweet baby Jesus.
Well, okay, the reason I did that was that, like, Wu's, I don't know why, but Unagami's hair and, like, Wu's, you know, mustache piece, or not mustache, goatee, beard, whatever piece, from
yes.
Lego, like, it's a different shade of white, and it bothered me so much. I was like, screw it, I gotta dig out my Teen Woo figure.
Oh my sweet goodness. You know that it's a different shade of white, like if your hair goes white naturally than if you dye it.
So now I want to give Woo Unagami's beard. Surprise everybody, that's the real reason Woo hasn't shown up in this season yet. It's because he's Unagami.
Woo is Unagami. You heard it here first, folks.
Actually, he looks pretty stylish with Unagami's beard. Ooh. You should get it cut.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can already tell the red in my hair is fading, and I have like maybe a quarter bottle of dye, a developer here, but I've literally never done it myself. My sister's done. See, that's the thing. My sister has done Kool-Aid dyed hair before, and it's scary how much I've been considering it. Like, I don't know if y'all have.
Your scalp pills around. Just find a vegan to punch the dye out of your hair if it looks bad.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know if any of y'all have those, you know, ghetto emo friends. Me and my friend were the ghetto emo friends. She had a maroon streak in her hair, I kid you not, for an entire school year, exclusively from dyeing it with Kool-Aid. And she did not have blonde hair. Okay, I need y'all to know. She has dark brown, almost black hair, and she had a maroon streak in it for 8 months from dyeing it with Kool-Aid. And I want y'all to know, she is the one who now dyes my hair today as a professional hairstylist. So follow your dreams, kids.
Wait, was the maroon streak like the equivalent of Moro's green streak? Or was it worse?
Oh my god. Her, like, half of her bang. Oh my god, she had a Moro streak.
I'm trying to visualize it, and I'm like, okay, was it like...
Okay, here's the thing. At the time, she had a hairstyle pretty much like Cole does here. So it was like if I took Cole here and put a little maroon streak right there. Like, this was her hair. This was her hair.
You know, it should have been just like a bright orange streak to match with the earth punch.
Hey, we have a good color palette going on here. Okay? Honestly, I'm loving
I
this.
think, okay, in my opinion, that was the worst part of Day of the Departed, when you had that, like, Frankenstein of a green ghost Cole with the earth punch orange arms.
Here's the thing. Green and orange only look good together if one of them is desaturated. So you see, we've got this lovely green color palette going on here. If I want to add orange to it, we're going to desaturate the hell out of this orange, right? We're not going to bring none of this on here because, oh my god, look at that. It's an eyesore. We're going to desaturate it. Boom. Would you look at that? Now we're allowed to have orange. Now the orange does not hurt the eyes because it's desaturated, people. Do not oversaturate your colors. Oh, thank you. I love Cole.
Listen to Arena.
Do you know how much I love color? I love color so much.
She loves color. She loves you. I know
so
you love
much.
Color so much.
I love color so much that my gaming professor, whenever we started talking about actual aesthetics, best day of class so far. So happy we got to actually have that on campus before spring break happened and I had to go home forever. But like the day we talked about aesthetics, you know what he did? He said, okay, Rena, you can tell the class, how does color palette affect this shit? Granted, he didn't say that because I go to a Jesus school, and if you even think the word shit, they all look at you with their evil eyes. But I explained color to my entire course.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Rita, be prepared to check your Discord. I'm about to send you a cursed image.
Okay, you know what? Just for that, after I look at the cursed image, if it's cursed enough, I'm gonna make the rest of YouTube look at it too.
Okay, that's very fair. This is what I like to call Nell having fun with her Legos, because she just noticed something and now she can't she had to do it.
This sounds like it's gonna be so cursed. God, I can't wait.
well, you know what? Maybe you'll get a good laugh out of it.
No! I'm making the rest of YouTube look at this. Y'all look at this. Y'all see that? Do y'all see that? Look at that! Oh my god!
I don't see it on the stream.
It's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. You gotta give it a minute. Remember the stream lags. This is cursed, and it. Oh my god. This is making your theory look more plausible, and I don't like it. Your theory is evil. I do say we want to keep away from saying what your theory is, because I don't know who all's on here and who all has or has not seen any spoilers. But yeah, evil, cursed, blocked.
What are we seeing here? Okay, so what I did was I'll just explain it, Rhea. Like it's a theory, you know. It's not concrete yet.
A Mel theory.
What?
I said a Mel theory.
A Mel theory. Alright, so I may own a Superstar Rocket J minifig, and I just realized that one of Unagami's two interchangeable heads looks just like Jay, and so I was like, hey, what if I just stick that white hair that's in Jay's current hairstyle on top of his head? It was glorious.
Also, Kat, I want you to know that I have no sympathy for you because you tried to make me cry today with your devastated
Can I hear the story, please?
Do you ever see me like reblog something just with screaming afterwards?
Yes, I haven't been that active on Tumblr today though because of the HW.
Yeah, no, it fucking happened again, and Kat knows what she did.
Now I'm interested.
Okay, have you seen that damage fic? I almost said damaged. It's damage, no D.
No, I don't believe I have. What's it about?
It's about pain, is what it's about.
Oh no, which boy?
Cole, do you know how much that hurts? Do you remember, gosh, I'm trying to remember what fandom is like super, super guilty of this. And the only one I can think of is Danny Phantom, but that's not right because Danny Phantom was the Vivisection fandom before they went meme crazy, which does not happen here. But gist of it, Cole gets kidnapped, and it is some bad juju. Okay, there's some psychological trauma. There's a good dose of false hope. There's even a spin-off AU, which I always love whenever authors do that because they're like, you know what, this idea is not where I'm going, but damn if it isn't awesome. And that's what made me cry today, is the spin-off idea. And you know what, Kat? If you have no regrets, then I have no regrets. I can't be held responsible for what I may do whenever my commissions are done. So there. Ha 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 ha.
Well, when your commissions are done, we're gonna do that one alternate scenario I pitched you, right?
We have talked a lot. And I'm going to say yes, because I fully intend on doing that. But you will have to remind me what that alternate scenario
Has to do
is.
with a certain ghost.
Oh my god, yes. It's gonna hurt and I'm gonna cry all over my tablet, but yes. Yes.
Now you got it?
Yes. We are gonna F this up and I'm gonna love it. Hi, Lucas. But yeah, no. Once I get done with commissions, this is high-key a break from commissions. As it is right now, I wake up at 9, I hide in bed for an hour with my dog, and then I work until 5 doing commission work, which is super cool. I love the fact that like these drawings are going to effectively turn into money. But it's very odd to force yourself to work from home, especially considering that this isn't just a scenario of, oh, well, you know, the tornado tore up the main highway, so we can't go nowhere. No, the world's on fire, and I'm not allowed to leave the house.
Wait, so, okay, I actually wanted to ask you about this. Are you literally not allowed to leave the house, or...?
It's very much self-imposed right now. So I live in a small town of about 10,000 people, 30 minutes away from where I go to university, which is a city of 250,000 people. That city is currently under lockdown. Residents are only allowed to leave for essential stuff like grocery shopping and doctor visits type thing. Only essential businesses are allowed to be open in the entire state of Texas. And yeah, Abbott, actually, everyone's very surprised because, you know, Texas is Texas and we don't like being told what to do, even by our own state government. But Abbott did close all non-essential businesses about a week ago, maybe. Everything has happened very rapid fire. And yesterday or the day before, he mandated all public schools continue to be closed through May 4th. So essentially, Texas will not finish its spring semester unless students are able to study from home. So for right now, I'm very much on self-imposed quarantine. You know, if I want to, I can go to the store. I can go walk wherever I want to. I can get in my car and I can go to New Mexico if I really want to. It would be stupid, but I could. But we are...
Mexico was on even worse lockdown.
Probably. They reacted far faster than we did because for a while they were tied with us for amount of cases. And of course, any state but Alaska is effing tiny compared to Texas. Just more people and less space. But right now we're very much preparing to hunker down and acting as if that's what we're doing already. Yesterday, I actually came home from work because I can still work out of the house once a week. And I had gotten groceries. My dad came out and took the groceries inside. I live in a separate apartment from my parents' house. It used to be the garage and it's been turned into an apartment. I did not go into the main house until I had gone into my apartment and changed clothes and showered because that's where Mom is at with how she's wanting us to behave around this virus thing going on.
And Iowa is not that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I know you said the other day that people were like out for walks like crazy. Like that was that's us.
Yeah, apparently
so stir crazy. Our neighbors are still coming over to use the basketball hoop every so often.
See, apparently West Texans are walking more now than they have in literal ages. And while I'm doing this, I want to draw Kai. What should I do for Kai?
Kai. What would be a good? Ooh, there's so many options. What about the funny Prime Empire moment that everybody was talking about, where he was kicking up his legs?
I really want to stay away from anything with Prime Empire until more English episodes are out and are more likely to have been seen. I know that's kind of a killjoy thing to say, but I really don't want to accidentally spoil anyone.
especially since it's when it's not even legally available in the United States. Anyway.
Spoken like a true pirate.
It's Cartoon Network's fault. It is Cartoon Network's fault. It is not Lego's fault. I refuse to believe it is Lego's fault.
No, I really don't think it's Lego's fault at all. I think it does fall down to the networks, and Cartoon Network has proven in the past that they are, I would almost say maliciously bad at scheduling certain cartoons. You know, Teen Titans Go.
Do not air anything for this show anymore.
Yeah. Teen Titans Go absolutely dominated the schedule for a while. I don't know if they still dominate. I haven't had cable in 2 years. But Teen Titans Go used to dominate their stuff, even whenever they had new content to put out, like from Steven Universe or from Young Justice, even that far back, you know? They just, for whatever reason, however their schedule is set up, it tends to hamstring some of the more loved cartoons, we'll say.
I'll talk about that in a second, but I was just reading the comments. Kai and I's Emperor Eggs. Have you gotten your fill of that yet, Rita, or are you up for more?
Gosh, what kind of eggs could I do? Because here's the thing. Whenever season 11 first came out, I actually was way better about staying on top of it. And of course, you know, since it was airing somewhere where it aired English episodes at 3 a.m., I was actually able to, like, I made the best decisions as someone in DC living as an adult with a grown-up internship, that I would stay up and watch these episodes at 3 a.m. before I needed to get up and go to the work in the morning. So that tells you my priorities.
Dude, I was up at I set my alarm when I was over in England specifically to be up when the episode would drop.
Right, but wasn't it just waking up a couple hours early for you?
I was but it was waking up at let's see, you were in DC, and you were waking up at what, 3 a.m.?
Yeah, I would just stay up till 3 a.m.
I mean, so 5 hours ahead. Yeah, it would be 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
No, I would very much sleep.
You really need to yell at me more often if I'm keeping you awake.
I was crazy homesick. You were thank you.
I mean, thank you. It was nice to know someone else was also doing wild shit far away from home. God, it was crazy in DC, though. At one point, there was an environmental protest where they intentionally were trying to shut down all the major streets in DC. So my boss just emailed me. Well, my boss just emailed me before I even woke up. This was the first thing I saw. I picked up my phone and I saw this email at 8 a.m. that was just hey, we're working from home today, so if you can just log on to Teams and do XYZ, you're golden for the day. And I'm just okay, that's cool. We never got no protests back in Texas.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing for me too, was because it's that I have never witnessed a strike in my entire life, and the one time I'm studying abroad, all of my professors decided to go on strike, and I got a week and a half off, and the cherry on top was the week I got off would have been Thanksgiving break.
See, that's awesome for you. And I remember being so jealous. Do you remember me being so angry during Thanksgiving? Did I tell you about that?
We were mutually angry.
God, I was so angry during Thanksgiving. So I found this out later, but apparently my family was planning on getting me a ticket to be able to fly down for Thanksgiving and back. And due to circumstances surrounding my dad's job and a specific client, they couldn't do that. So we were already mad at this client, and then I found out that she was the reason I didn't get to fly home for Thanksgiving, And I was, ready to hunt someone down.
Wait, didn't you make all those buns for your roommates and then they just went out?
Oh, yeah. I sure did. So here's the thing. I want y'all to know, just so y'all know, I effing love baking. Okay?
It is
I
amazing.
stress bake. All right? Like, the first week that I came home, spring break, and Mom is like, oh, yes, by the way, you're not allowed to leave the house because the world's on fire. I low-key baked 4 dozen cookies that night because I was stressed the fuck out, okay? and in DC, I got so stressed out. Not only did I stress bake cookies like every single week from cake mix, because you can do that, I also learned how to bake conchas, okay? Which are delicious. And if you don't know what a concha is, it's a Mexican sweetbread. It looks like a conch shell, okay? That's why it's called a concha. They're delicious. You have them with coffee, and they taste like heaven, and I know how to make them. So ha. But what happened was, my family has this recipe for rolls. They are amazing, okay? You can have them with honey, and they taste delicious. You can have them with ham and cheese, and they taste delicious. These are just rolls sent down, presumably from Jesus himself, if Grandma is to be believed. And I made a dozen of these rolls thinking that my roommates and I were going to have a Thanksgiving thing. One of my roommates had family coming down to visit her, that's how you know I'm from the South, had family flying up to visit her for Thanksgiving, and rather than figure out a Thanksgiving dinner or whatever, which we kind of had low-key been talking about all semester, I stayed at home, ate macaroni and cheese, and angrily ate like half of the thing of rolls.
And, oh man, I was right there with you with angry eating without family.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize it was such a, American or even just Midwestern American thing to do, to like angrily eat things as you think about how mad you are that you're not able to be home right now. But it's a feeling. It's real. And I was very upset, and I was very much like, I know everybody makes the memes about Zane being like, ain't nobody effing help me around this house. That's how I was feeling, okay? Ain't nobody helped me around this house. My boss had given me a ham, so I had taken care of the ham. I made rolls. I am from Texas. I know how to cook. And we ain't did nothing. And here's the thing. I know how y'all are, you're listening to this sad tale of woe. My roommates were a Spaniard and 2 very, very, very white girls from Ohio and from Mississippi. What this translated to was the Spaniard made food that I had honestly never come into contact with because she was from Spain, so very different palate. And the 2 white girls did not know how to cook, period. As y'all see from my username, I use calavera. That means sugar skull in the way that I use it. Calavera, skull, that type of thing. I'm half Mexican. We know how to cook. You give me a half-empty pantry and I will whip you up enough food to feed 10 people. And I would, yeah, I'm still mad about those. Damn, I did not realize I was this angry about those rolls.
No, well, look, it was Thanksgiving.
It was Thanksgiving, and if even the Mexicans can celebrate Thanksgiving reliably, what are you doing with your life?
Oh, I think it's all, like the reason, forgive me if this is, like, bad for turning it into my side of the story.
No,
but, like, I was pissed off just because alright, back at home, I had never missed a single Thanksgiving with the family.
Same.
Thanksgiving or Christmas party that was like right after.
Same.
I had struck twice, and they still made me go. I had to wear this stupid mask, over my face, and I spent all of my time outside in the snow, like finding excuses to not have to wear it because I hated it so much. I was like, why can't you just stay inside the whole time? And they're like, no, you have to go socialize with family.
See, I am a Christmas Eve baby, so I have always had family around for my birthday. I've never missed a Christmas. Honestly, I think if I'd have missed Christmas, like, I would have been straight up doing a stream and, like, crying.
Yeah, that would have. I would have been there for you, girl. Like, I wasn't in England at Christmas. I was down in Florida, feeling the stages of, oh my god, I'm in Florida, but I want to be in London where it's rainy and gross and.
Oh, you were still feeling that, I want to go back.
It was so weird. It was so weird because, like, for the first, I want to say, like, 3 days, I was, or no, not 3 days, 2 days. For the first 2 days I was back, I was like, thank the Lord, I am home. That was, like, the most trying time of my life.
I've been scarred.
Then I had to, like, leave to go to Florida for family Christmas, like, immediately after I got back.
Yeah.
So I was already, like, crazy, like, barely adjusting to the time change, and now I was adjusting again.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about, like, being stupid jet lagged, and I was sitting there being just like, Mel, how are you alive?
Well, I stayed up for the whole flight back, the whole 8 hours.
Allow me to reiterate, Mel, how are you alive?
My dad went.
Oh yeah, y'all see what I'm drawing. This is actually a very late birthday gift for somebody that I said that I would do, and then proceeded to.
That's I holding Lloyd. Like a hurt Lloyd.
It's definitely for an AU that involves such things. Brownie points to whoever guesses whatever AU this is.
Oh man, I can't wait.
It's a fantastic AU, and if y'all don't know it, you should go check it out.
Oh god. What was I saying? I got sidetracked. Thanks for pulling me out of vacation modes. But back to the main point that I was going at, whereas, like, I got down to Florida, and everybody was like, how was England? What did you do? What happened? And I was just sitting there like, I went to Bath. I went to Bristol. I went to London. Is that enough for you people? Leave me alone.
See, I got
I
back.
just did not want to talk about it.
I got back and everyone was like, Mijita, how was DC? Do you have pictures? And luckily, because I'm an artist, I did. And I was just like,
I was awful at taking photos. I didn't care.
See, I was just like, okay, on the off chance I get to do a gallery, this will be amazing. And if I don't, then I can just give Nana the Google Docs link and she can look at all the pictures of all the places I went. And it worked like a charm because I'm sitting there crying because I'm eating my Nana's food for the first time in 4 months. It's emotional. I'm emotional. I cry at the drop of a hat, okay? And she's like looking through all my photos and asking me questions and I'm just, yes. Can I have more mashed potatoes, please?
Good times.
Oh, hey, I want a show of hands or whatever, however you want to respond. Who all applied to be in the 10th anniversary Zine today?
Just open, Rena. Come on, I still have to type out some of the things I've only talked about with you in DMs.
Hey, I know that you're applying. Also, who wants to bet that this dragon that I'm drawing is just going to look like a really angry horse because I drew too many horses as a child?
ninjago shorts. Like, I'm not talking Prime Empire, I'm just talking, like, little quick shorts.
I know I've seen the one about Ghost Coal that you sent me, and I've seen... Actually, I don't know if I've seen any of the Woo's tease short. I have seen the Legacy ones with the mural.
The Legacy one was the one I was thinking about, or one of them.
Ooh, which one?
The one where Lloyd is reminiscing about flying on the Ultra Dragon, and then it flies away, and he's like, "Where are you going?"
Yeah, and then it pops back up in season 9 in the worst way possible.
The best part is that short came out after season 9, and after the Hangmans just blatantly said that was the Ultra Dragon.
Like, excuse you.
Oh god, do you remember that little quick thing that I wrote? where it's Lloyd and Woo, and the red dragon, what's it called? What was it called? The firstborn? Flies away. Woo's like, it's going back to where it belongs, and it's just like, Lloyd is why? Lloyd is like, why? It's like, because that's where it's supposed to be. It's like, is that where the Ultra Dragon is? It's like, no. Just like, what? Why did it leave? Or, like, where is it? It's like, there's something I haven't told you.
Oh my god, Mel, I forgot about... You're evil. Honestly...
I think I made that, like, right after the Hangmans wrote that, too. They're, like, had that Twitter. So, like, the reblogs are people knowing exactly what I'm talking about.
That's just evil, Mel. Are you aware of that? Do you know? Are you proud of your evil? Are you proud of your evil self, Doofenshmirtz?
I am very proud.
Now I need to pull up reference pictures because, damn it, we're doing this right.
Fine, but I have to figure out which drawings I want to use. Who would say Bumblebee? I wanted to, like, part of me wanted to say fuck it, and not with drawings though, with writings.
Right.
Like, part of me wanted to say fuck it and still submit my Snow White AU that I've written so far, but then the other part of me was like, no, you're just gonna take it as an insult and say no. And it's just like, I'm really proud of it. I just want to share.
Just polish up what you can as best you can. And I've seen your writing, girl. You're gonna be a shoo-in. It'll be great. And maybe, just maybe, we can collab on something. God, it would be so cool. Just be like, and here's Rena and Mel collabing again.
On something angsty again.
The world is shocked.
No, what'll be great is if or when, depending on like whatever you're feeling, if you help me with that shall we dance thing, and it'll be the fluffiest thing you and I have ever made together.
Oh, that'll be hilarious. Just be like, this is how we're going to be remembered for the people, and then just, oh wow, that's so cute and adorable. I'm gonna go check out these people and see what else they've done together. And just the first thing that pops up is the season 11 comic.
Okay, that's season 11. Okay, that's season 11. Like, I love the animatic, don't get me wrong, but that season 11 comic is like my favorite thing we've ever done.
Listen, I'm still living off of the high of having an assistant producer comment on that first part.
I know!
Like,
I was like...
Talk about mind-blowing!
Talk about just like... What? We didn't even at you!
How did you find this? How did the cosmos align?
Because, like, I was totally with you on the not adding anybody from the show, just like posting it and seeing what happens.
Yeah, and then they found it by themselves, and it was just like, holy biscuits.
We just gotta take every Steven Universe song and make it angsty when it's not supposed to be.
Challenge accepted.
Like you.
Oh, that one does not take a bunch of effort, and you know it.
I know, it doesn't. Well, I guess there was the new ending song for Steven Universe Future. Oh no, that's not any effort at all. That's already inherently angsty.
Yeah, I really need to go and watch the new Future episodes because, like, I technically know what happens, but I haven't actually gone and watched it yet. Yeah, I need to go and watch it. That's what I need to do.
This part was Blue Diamond. Singing. She finally got to sing.
She finally sang?
You said? I'm sorry.
She finally sang?
Yes. She had her own solo number, and it was great, and I loved it, and it was the best part of that episode.
That sounds like so much fun. I really need to go and just watch it.
Actually, very, very relaxing song. Something I haven't told you is my favorite meme line. Agreed, Bumblebee. Agreed.
I mean, it really is just a fantastic opener for anything. Just, wait, what is this doing here? There's something I haven't told you yet.
Like, realistically speaking, how much of the conflict of the show revolves around Wu not telling them stuff?
I mean, the answer is a lot.
Well, because to be honest, like, season 1, did the backstory really matter with Garmadon? Except for making Garmadon literally the most sympathetic character in the entire show.
Well, and, like, think about it. What Garmadon's backstory should have resulted in was the ninja going, and there was no way to fix this, and trying to fix it. Like, looking at the universe we have now, at all the crazy shit that's gone on, surely there's something that could have reversed that venom. And just, like, being, you know what, we're not gonna make...
something that removed it, remember?
Oh, right, yes. But, like, that was an accident and you know it.
You just have to put all the elements in Lloyd. All 4 of them.
I'm just saying, like, if one person had been like, hey, it's kind of fucked up to make the kid fight his dad, is there not something else that we can do here?
It was, like, so detached in that scene when Garmadon and Lloyd were, like, on the verge of tears.
And Wu's just sitting here being like, alas, destiny works in mysterious ways. Destiny killed your adopted kid. Could we maybe stop letting them drive?
Is Destiny the reason why we're copying Star Wars, but somehow making Darth Vader, like, ultra sympathetic and not at fault at all?
How do I do tears? Ooh, y'all want to see how I do tears? Because technically these aren't tears. Let's make a new canvas and we'll look at how we do tears. Because
tears. Is that fire?
Because I like angst. Alright, so first thing to do with tears is you need a face. So we're going to draw a face. And who should we make sad? We're going to make Nia sad because I don't make her sad very often outside of writing.
Outside of writing? So basically half the time?
Maybe so. So the first thing before you ever get to tears is 1, what kind of tears are they? We're doing sad tears because I'm not an animal. And 2, what does the person look like whenever they're actually sad? So one of the biggest things is your eyes kind of scrunch up a little bit. because, hey, there's tears. It's actually a little painful. We're not liking it. We're having to blink every 5 seconds because tears. So your eyes scrunch up a little bit. Eyebrows scrunch down and turn up at the and on the inside just a little bit. Because, you know, Anakin, you're breaking my heart. That's the feeling we're going for here.
Breath I can't follow. Who wrote this dialogue?
You know damn well who wrote it.
Okay, sorry, to derail for like 2 seconds. Apparently the dialogue thing has always been an issue.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. So the next thing is your nose. It's gotta be, nose is gonna be a little scrunched up because, again, the whole face scrunches up whenever you're crying because crying is no fun and it sucks. I know from experience.
Ooh, that was nice there. Nice to make your audience feel bad.
Hey.
Was that mean? I'm sorry. I don't.
No. You're not being mean. You're not being mean. I just want the audience out there to know y'all have only been responsible for making me cry like once a day. Okay. I can walk outside and the sun's too bright and instant tears. I really will cry at the drop of a hat.
Ever let this girl watch Barefoot again?
See, now I want to.
Okay, if you do watch it, and who knows, maybe this is reverse psychology on my part, to any of you who get curious and decide to watch it, be prepared. There will be many tears. You will not last the first 30 minutes without crying. That is a fact.
Okay,
so it's not like Up where you cry in the first 10 minutes, but that said, you will be bawling your eyes out 30 minutes in.
So now that you got your face, because faces are important, now we can finally create tears, which, as everyone knows, is a part of a healthy, balanced diet. So tears are going to pool up inside the eye, all along here. And you know, draw a little bit from experience. How do tears feel whenever they're welling up inside your eye? And then they bunch up over here at the corner. And then they go down the face. Now the thing is, we're going to cheat. And we're going to think about how raindrops look like whenever you're in the car and you're driving and it's drizzling and they're meeting up with each other. They don't just all go in a neat little line. They kind of do their own thing. And they're going to go down the curvature of the face. And they're going to streak until you get to the actual teardrop. Okay, the teardrop itself is going to be where the bulk of everything is. The rest of this is just streaks. And again, it goes down the curvature of the face, which is why if you don't touch tears, they tend to go and bunch up under your chin before dripping off. Now, some people do, you know, the Studio Ghibli tears, and those are really pretty because all of the water from Miyazaki is just pretty and jelly-like. I don't necessarily do that. I tend to go for more of the implied water, which is why mine tend to look like this. And with tears, you really can be pretty messy. The biggest thing with water, you know, I'm sitting here doing hair, and it's these short strokes that curve, right? Like I'm basically making a bunch of S's and C's with varying amounts of curve to them, right? And we're ending in points. With water and with tears, it's much more flat. Okay? Think like flat clouds. And then whenever it goes down the curve of the face, break up your line a little bit and follow that to where it's more implied. That'll get it more of that, you know, kind of drying up, kind of evaporating because there's not a lot there. Look on the face. That's how we draw tears. But these aren't technically tears because he's on fire. God, I love the Seiyu. It's so good.
Wait. You're giving Kai movie Garbodon's fire tears.
Hey, technically, I didn't do it. The author of this fantastic AU did. So I am free. of responsibility.
Okay. Rena.
Yes.
My family sent this other thing in to me. It was who are you quarantined with for the next month? So like your first initial. Do you can I read you yours?
Oh my God, please do.
Alright. So first initial R. Do you know who RuPaul is?
Ah, no. I think you made me blow out my vocal cords from that.
That's bad.
Oh my God, I couldn't stand him even before the fracking BS.
I don't know who this is.
He's the guy that did the drag queen thing that really made drag queen culture popular with people, to the point where like people started using the common language associated with drag culture without even really knowing what it was, because he turned it into a reality competition. And frankly, he annoys me, and he's one of the main judges on Skin Wars, and I've always greatly disliked how he judged.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's good. It's good. It made for a funny reaction, because it's ultimately harmless, you know?
Still have two more.
Oh, God.
So, for birth month, December. Darth Vader.
You know what? Me and Anakin, we're gonna chill, alright? I don't like to talk. He doesn't like to talk. I like burnt marshmallows. He is a burnt marshmallow. We're good.
Can you fall asleep to his deep breathing?
You know what? If I can fall asleep with a Boston Terrier at the foot of my bed every night, I can fall asleep to anything. Have you heard those little shits? Snores like a trucker.
I've heard you describe them. Now, this last one, though, I need you to answer this question for me. What is your favorite color?
Damn. I'm gonna be edgy and say black because it goes with everything.
Alright. Shaggy and Scooby.
You know what? I am down for this. Here's the thing. Here's what's gonna happen. Vader's gonna get fed up with RuPaul like within 5 seconds. So he'll take care of that.
That's Shaggy and Scooby, though.
Here's the thing, though. If you keep Shaggy and Scooby fed, which I am a fantastic cook, they are totally fine. They'll just do their own thing. They'll sit in the corner eating. They won't bother you. In fact, if you feed them, they are ride or die, okay? So me and Vader
won't get jealous of them, though, because he can't eat normal food anymore.
No. Here's the thing. It'll be great. Because I'll feed them, and me and Vader, we're just going to still chill here playing Pokemon cards, because my dad has enough of a collection to play with a different deck every single hour of this whole quarantine thing. Not on topic.
Can I get this mine off real quick before you respond to me, myself, and I?
What's going on?
Can I say mine?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Oh, real quick, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Kim Kardashian, and Captain America.
You know, whenever you said...
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Whenever you said Ruth, I was like, oh, so you're finna have, like, the most put together, organized quarantine ever. And then you said Kardashian, and I was just like, so who's gonna snap first? And then you said Captain America, and I was just like, oh, so the quarantine will be over in 2 days because Cap can't stay home.
Yeah, the stupid thing about the birthday thing is that mine's like right at the end of March. So I was 5 days away from flipping Sherlock Holmes, and I am so pissed.
Aww, you would have loved having Sherlock.
Depends on which one, but yes.
So, me, myself, and I. Any advice on keeping proportions with multiple characters in a drawing? One of my biggest things that helps me, which you can vaguely see, let me put the layer opacity back up to normal and switch colors real quick. One of the things that I tend to do is I build in stages. So the first thing that I do is I draw a circle for the head, and I use that circle as a grounding point. So every other character's head needs to be about that same size circle, right? You can see that doesn't even include like their jawline. That's a completely different thing. From there, depending on what character I'm drawing, if I keep it in proportion with their head, that keeps them in proportion with the rest of the drawing. It's a very codependent type of method that really revolves around making sure everyone's heads are the same size. Now, this works really well in characters that are roughly the same age or the same stage in life. It can get a little dodgy whenever you're working with kids. And at that point, it really becomes, draw out character 1's skeleton. So here we're going to draw out Kai's skeleton, technically speaking, because I don't draw actual bones. I just do circles and lines. That's how I draw skeletons, unless I actually need to draw a skull. So we get character 1 skeleton done, and then we can move into character 2 and say, oh, well, a kid's only going to be like, a skull's going to be like this big and in proportion to the adult, and go from there. But it's a very codependent type thing where it largely depends on being able to draw individual characters in proportion. Now, the biggest thing with drawing individual characters in proportion is you have to train yourself, We come back over here to our blank canvas. Let's go ahead and clear that out. What is the general rule of thumb for a good proportionate human being? Let's get Bob in here. This is Bob. We're going to pretend he's proportional. The average human is going to be about 7.5 heads tall, give or take. Yeah, give or take. So what that means is we should be able to put 7 of Bob's heads in a row here, and they'll be the same height. Now, there are various cheat sheets that I use for different characters and how just the human body is set up. I've gone over the different proportions for faces before. Faces are actually super weird because there's all this stuff that's like codependent on each other. If you get your eye line here and you figure out your nose here, boom, you've got ears, because the ears go from the eyes to the bottom of the nose, and then you have your mouth, which technically goes from the center of the pupils down. Mouth is way wider than we think it is. The head is way bigger than we think it is, and I definitely screw with that proportion whenever I draw. But for drawing proportional humans, there are various things that you can kind of use to cheat sheet. Whenever you draw a person, ignore my very not proportional neck, and you get to the torso. Oh, how long are the arms supposed to be? Well, technically a person's arms come to where the wrist is about the same as the pelvis area. So boom, now you know how long your arms have to be. Well, how long do my legs have to be? Typically as long as the top part of the body. So if we take the top part of the body, go down to the bottom, boom, there's your ankle. And now you've got your foot. So a lot of it is going to be learning how to keep individual characters in proportion, and then you combine them together. So, I take all of this information, and you don't just draw characters standing up. You draw them in different poses. You make them look weird. You accidentally draw legs too long 1,500 times before you finally get it right, using various cheat sheets and tools that you've seen before. And then you can carry it back over and work on different characters in here together. That really is the only way that you're going to get better, is if you continue to practice and continue to just force yourself to screw up. Like that's the truth. You will screw up. Accept that truth now. Accept that it's not a bad thing. In art, screwing up is like the best thing you can do, because it makes you look at why you screwed up. Was I using too many shortcuts? Was I not using the tools available to me? Was I trying to do something in a really bad roundabout way because I don't like doing it the quote unquote right way? You know, all those things will help you grow as an artist. Maybe your way does work better for you. You're just not good at it yet. That definitely was me with fire. I used to draw fire like how I draw Kai's hair. Just basically like, this is a flame. Now I don't do that. I took a look at what fires I really liked. A big, heavy inspiration on how I draw fire now is how Pokemon draws its fire. You'll see various things that, you know, you look around and you're like, oh wait, I draw eyes like how the Yu-Gi-Oh people draw eyes. I draw hands the way that person draws hands. And you'll start to see these things that show up, and you're like, you take a look at yourself and go, do I like the way these proportions are? Or do I feel like they look like the Laffy Taffy people from Code Geass? It's all learning.
Well, just so y'all know, if you do end up drawing like Code Geass and Yu-Gi-Oh, you are like up there for favorite artists of mine, because that is my aesthetic.
Definitely said those on purpose, because that is the way to Mel's heart, is Yu-Gi-Oh and Code Geass.
Good Yu-Gi-Oh design, not.
We're not counting knockoff Beyblade. Don't worry. Keeping yourself from comparing yourself to other artists. So this is actually something that I still have trouble with. I want to preface this by saying I love Speedy and Luna. They're amazing artists. There's definitely a big part of me that gets very jealous every time one of them posts something. Simply because Luna's use of color and their ability to make beautifully textured pieces is amazing. I love it so much. And Speedy's use of light and color and their expressions and jokes are top tier. The way to keep yourself from comparing to other artists is a long and difficult road of continuously telling yourself whenever you see other beautiful art to go, wow, that's amazing. God, I can't wait to see how good I'm gonna look after studying for that long, you know? Because here's the thing. A lot of us, especially people who do art past grade school, a lot of us did start out with a good amount of talent. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Art usually only gets nurtured by adults whenever there's talent associated with it. It's frustrating. It shouldn't happen, but it's true. But the key difference between people who are only working off of talent and people who work off of skill is just the drive to make that better. So someone could run off of talent for 15 years and be okay, but someone who at 15 said, I want to learn how to be a better artist because I love the way Speedy draws and I want to be up there with them. Someone who at 15 says that and then studies till they're 30 is going to have beautiful, amazing art skills. So the biggest thing is just to keep this all in perspective. Yes, there are going to be people who can draw better than you. There's a million people out there who can draw better than me. And that's amazing, because let's face it, without those people, we wouldn't have stuff like, you know, any of the animated movies that we have, or stuff like Ninjago. Keeping it in perspective by telling yourself, you know, oh, well, of course they're doing better. They've studied for longer, or they started from a further position on the starting line than I did, you know? Sometimes you have to work through hand-eye coordination. Sometimes you have to work through, You know, oh, well, I don't have any time because school sucks and they don't nurture the arts. It's important to keep it in perspective in that it's okay that other people are ahead of you. It's not a competition. You're going to compare yourself to other artists, and it's going to be really, really hard to come to terms with that. And one of the things that has really helped me has just been continuing to surround myself with artists who are better than me. I follow artists on Twitter, I follow artists on Tumblr, on Instagram, and I actively look for their art. I look at what they do, you know. What do I love about Speedy's art? What is it that makes me want to look at it? It's that beautiful use of lighting and color. Well, okay, that's great. So, do I feel like my pieces lack lighting and color? Do I need to learn more about that? And use it to learn. Don't just sit there and let it, you know, don't tear yourself down. Use it to give yourself a bolster up, because any artist out there in the world that puts their stuff out there, that lets people see their stuff, usually that artist is also looking around at 15 other people and going, oh my god, they're so much better than me. And the people whose art is going to improve are the people who go, wow, that's amazing. How do I get there? And go from there.
Emotional speech.
Oh, thanks. So for hair, and we'll, you know, same hair syndrome, or in other words, fashion. So for hair, what I tend to do, especially whenever it comes to the ninja, is, of course, you know, look at what your source material is. Lloyd's hair is kind of flippy. I'm going off of the stuff that we've seen on the show and just the stuff that we've seen from the movie. You get the impression that it's kind of thick. Cole's hair, again, kind of flippy, pretty thick. How do I differentiate these characters on paper without any kind of color? And it comes down to the texture that you give hair. Hair has a million textures. Okay? Even aside from just if you just look at one ethnicity's hair, and I'm going to pull out white people hair for this because that's not an easy one to pull out. You can get super fine, thin hair that looks super pretty and shiny for that. Or you can get, like my friend Kenzie, she has these beautiful, beautiful ringlets that just pop out, and they like to be together, you know? All that stuff about on the internet lately, I don't know why, but like hair care has exploded. Thank you, Jesus. Like, her hair is pretty ringlets. You're going to treat this hair differently in real life. You're going to treat it differently on the page. So whenever it comes to drawing characters that technically have very similar hair, like Lloyd and Cole, you can differentiate that further by natural things that hair does differently. So for Lloyd's hair, what I tend to do is he gets a little part like this over here on his right. And this is his hairline. So his hair, since it has that little part, it waves out from here. If we were to separate his hair in different portions, his bangs are right here, with a little bit off to the side there. Okay? Then if we were to look at how his hair goes back from there, the main part of his hair, it goes back like this, with a little bit of flip out there that I also give to Garmadon because I'm sappy. With the last little bit of his hair coming down usually to just about right here. He doesn't have very long hair. It's just kind of wild, kind of long, or kind of wild, kind of wavy is what he has. Now with Cole, what I tend to do for Cole, let's grab this. What I tend to do for Cole is I don't give him a hair part in the front. He tends to have very, centered hair. And so his bangs are much more in front. They don't really spread out the way Lloyd's do to any one direction. And then whenever it gets back here, then his hair parts down the middle. And you can still see, like, I draw certain parts just very similar. The key is in using the different parts of your toolkit to make them different. You know, Cole gets more hair than Lloyd does. His is thicker. And he gets a different hairstyle. That's going to be how you differentiate characters and keep from drawing the same hairstyle over and over. And that's what you can see. That's the exact same hair texture. Imagine doing this with different textures of hair. You know, Zane's stick straight, super fine hair that just stays in the same fashion no matter what you do with it. You know, his hairline is even different from these two. Hold on, I'm not. Mel. Why?
Hey, I told you to wait until you were done.
Do you think
Okay,
I see that?
interrupt.
Y'all look at what she did. Cursed.
Come on.
Cursed.
I got Unagami Jay wearing Harumi's little ponytail thing too. Although I guess I could turn it to anger since like that fits Harumi's hair more. But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
The same kind of light. You expect me to not?
I mean,
I won't that one.
I really shouldn't expect anything at this point, or rather I should expect anything, because good night. Also, what y'all may or may not have noticed while I'm doing this, I've resized Lloyd's head like 8 times. If you're drawing digitally, resizing stuff is one of the best tools ever. If you are not drawing digitally, do not freak out. Okay? Are we done? We good? We're not gonna freak out? Great. So the biggest thing is just to continue to sketch and sketch and sketch. What y'all do not see from the stuff that I post online from digital art is how many times I redrew it, or how many papers I went through tracing and retracing each individual piece to get it to the point that I show it to y'all. That's one of the biggest things to remember is for every piece that you see on here, every beautiful finished piece that you think is amazing, there's probably like 18 sketches or reject sketches or, you know, crumpled up pieces of paper in my trash can before I got to that point. I have had various roommates and friends yell at me because I throw out pieces of art that they think are great that I know are trash. And any artist knows exactly what I'm talking about because we are our own worst critics, and it's painful and sad, but it's true. So just do not be afraid to screw up. This screwing up is a part of art, and it's a beautiful part of art. And if we didn't have people screwing up with art, I mean, what's the point?
All about trial and error.
Oh yeah, trial and error is the best thing ever. Do y'all want to know how many times it took to get me to draw Kai's hair? Like legit, we are coming up on the year anniversary. Like almost a year ago, I started in April. Almost a year ago, I sat down with my friends, stressed as hell from midterms and a spring break that should have been way longer, and we watched 8 seasons of a show about fucking Legos. And I decided to draw these Legos, except I didn't want to draw Legos because I'm an adult TM, and decided to draw them the way I draw things in my style. And it took me so many tries to draw Kai right the way he is now. You know, even if we looked at the stuff from a year ago, please don't. Even if we looked at the drawings from a year ago from my sketchbook before I got brave enough to do anything digitally, they look way different. You know, Jay looks way different. I changed the way I drew Cole. I changed the way I drew everyone because trial and error is a beautiful thing. And you're going to do trial and error all the time. And if an artist tells you, no, your style never changes, no, that's because they make conscious decisions to never change their style because they decided they liked it that way and they're in denial.
Look up Rita's mermaid. That's how you can see how much she's changed over the year.
I will allow it only because that I really love those mermaid drawings.
They were the reason I discovered you, so like don't even.
You know what? And that's part of the reason why I still let them live. But there are paper drawings on there that I'm just like, ew, no, kill it with fire. Because artists are our own worst critics, and it's okay. I would highly discourage allowing yourself to get there if you're not there yet. Please continue loving your art and loving the way you draw. But if you are at that point where you're like, ugh, everything I create is trash. No, everything you create is not trash. That's just your dumb artist brain not realizing that your hands haven't caught up to the skill that it has yet. Like, it's a legit thing. Your hands increase in skill at a different rate than your brain does. And your brain doesn't quite recognize that until someone points it out. And then you feel kind of stupid for not realizing it.
I don't know about you, but I think Coco looks pretty cool with not brown, gray hair.
Listen, I'm just saying we should have gotten Coco as a mom in the show.
Oh, yeah, why didn't that get rebooted, huh? Misako stays the same, even.
You know, like, you're right. How did Misako and Wu stay the same whenever they were clearly two of the best parts of that movie?
Wu, I totally understand why. Wu and Garmadon, especially.
Okay, but Garmadon did not stay the same.
At all, for the most part. It's like, first of all, Wu is just like the most iconic thing in the franchise.
Well, like, his looks didn't change at all, but damn, you look at Wu from the movie and you tell me he doesn't look like a fun uncle.
He is the fun uncle, but I thought that was so funny.
But like, here's the thing, you know, let me play you a song. Perhaps it will speak to you. And then proceeds to beatbox flute. Like, damn, my uncle taught me how to LARP and also how to put a guy in an arm bar, and I think that guy's cool. On a side note, if you ever want lessons on how to use a spear, I got you.
I can't believe that Wu beatboxed Hard Not Life with his flute.
Because he's the best uncle ever. Although, in reference to the uncle who taught me how to use a spear, his birthday is today and he hates April Fools with a passion.
Join him in that because I hate it so much as well.
Here's the thing though, like, as a kid, I didn't realize, like, pranking people was like a national holiday or some shit because we just didn't do it out of respect for my uncle. So I get to, you know, school where I will be influenced by other little heathen children and they're like, haha, April Fools, and I'm like, that's a day? This is my Theo Taleb's birthday. What are you talking about? I was so confused as a child, and I am confused now.
I just hate it because it's like, you know, when you wake up, when you first wake up and you're a little drowsy and you're like, oh, what day it is, and then you might see something fun, and you're like, ah, that's awesome, I can't believe, and then you remember it's April Fool's, and it's like,
yeah.
I'm a very gullible person, unfortunately.
Well, my thing is just that, like, I'm so optimistic about shows. I'm like, well, of course that's getting a reboot. It's gorgeous. Wait. And just, that's my downfall right there. So has anybody guessed the AU that I'm drawing yet?
What are you talking about?
So has anybody guessed the AU that I'm drawing yet?
book of crumpled up paper surrounded by her. Sorry, I'm not. I have no idea what AU this is.
It's not one of mine. It is definitely something that I should have drawn like 4 days ago for a friend's birthday, and I didn't get it done in time. I don't think that friend is on here. Otherwise, they might have already said something about the AU. It's a really fun AU, I've got to say. It's absolutely amazing. If you couldn't tell from literal Fire Demon Kai.
This does look pretty sweet, not gonna lie.
Let me double check because I actually don't always remember the name of the AU. I just remember how amazing it is. And yes, it is the Elemental AU on Tumblr. This, I thought I would do a fun redraw. I sent an anon message to the author of this AU a few days before their birthday, asking what their favorite snippet that they had drawn, written, whatever of it. And they said this particular excerpt from the AU, which I will say, they have already drawn this and it looks beautiful. I love how soft and put together their artwork is. But it's also one of my favorite parts. So I thought I'd try my hand at doing this and see where we went with it. So yes, it is the Elemental AU and it's absolutely fantastic and y'all should go check it out.
Wonderful reason. A wonderful reason to draw it, I mean.
Right? Like, it's super fun. I'm awful at remembering, like, dates and things. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you talking about, like, the stuff for your birthday and talking about, like, being super ready to be 21 and all of that helped so much with remembering when your birthday was. Because I'm awful at remembering them. Because here's the thing, me and my siblings are all birthdays around some sort of holiday or significant time of year. I'm a Christmas baby. My next sister, she's 2 days after Valentine's Day. Our baby sister, she is right at the beginning of the school year in September. Our little brother.
It starts in September?
Huh?
Wait, your school year starts in September?
August, September. We always just, consider it a party because I have too many siblings and my mom finally gets the house to herself. But
keep going.
Our little brother, his birthday is the day after Dia de los Muertos. And then my baby brother, his birthday is St. Patrick's Day. So just I grew up in this house full of people that always had holiday birthdays, and it made it very easy to remember them. And then I got into the real world where people are born on, regular days in the year and don't get to rely on an actual calendar reminder to remind them that, hey, Tijuana's birthday's coming up. Yeah, no. So adjusting to typical birthdays, one of the things that just you don't consider as an adult, and then it comes back to bite you. I'm going to show you all my favorite feature of Clip Studio that has high-key been why I can do like 8 coloring pages in a day. So I changed my color to black here, right? Like we can see this, yes? I come up here to edit, change color of line to drawing, boom, instantly inked. God, whoever invented that, effing genius.
Well, saved you a shit ton of time, didn't it?
Saved me so much time. Y'all don't even know. Mel is so effing patient with me because I take forever on EOTU stuff. I'm still taking forever on EOTU stuff.
And comic, and we're both students, and you have a job.
I'm just saying, like, you have an extraordinary amount of patience with this because it takes forever for me to actually sketch out the initial layout of a comic, sketch out the thumbnail of what the comic is going to look like, do the sketch, do the better sketch that actually involves clothes, because I'm a weirdo who draws bodies before she draws clothes. Seriously, the one time I just legit sent you a picture of, what was it, Jay's butt? Like, I wasn't even drawing, like, his butt to draw his butt. That was just the sketch.
I'm going to appreciate it.
Hey, it was a good butt.
Just for Batman and Robin homage.
But yeah, Mel is...
Because they're suiting up.
Mel is so damn patient with me, and it's fantastic. But damn.
Okay, like, before I met you, like, remember those little, like, comic shorts that I was sending you from the Yu-Gi-Oh manga I was reading?
Yes.
By the way, for anybody who wants to know, the Yu-Gi-Oh 5D's manga is amazing. Y'all should read it. If not for anything, then just for these, like, tracks. They're called tracks, and it's the artist for the manga doing all these little side stories. And the very first one is about how crappy it is not to have assistants working on a comic with you. Like, even when your only job is the artist, like, you don't do the story at all. Or, like, if you do the story, you, like, suggest random stuff, but you don't control the plot. You know? You need assistants, because this shit sucks. And there's no color in this comic.
Man, I don't know what possessed me to do EOTU in color, but now there's no going back, and I refuse to go back on that because I'm stubborn.
Like you set yourself up, you know, when you opened chapter 3, hand drawn with just paper.
Yeah, I could have backed down after chapter 3, but at the same time, there was this evil gremlin voice in the back of my head being like, "Blow them away, coward. Come back. The only reason you didn't do color on hand-drawn was because your Copics needed refilling." Yeah, there's
I'm trying to give you an out to make it easier for you.
See, that doesn't work whenever there's a demon in the back of my head that was just like, but what if you did more?
Okay, here's an idea. Like, you could still just do all color for, like, the rest of it. But what if you only did color for the important pages?
See, but then I would be sitting there for like a week being like, is this page important? Is this page important? Ah, screw it, I'll color it.
I'm here for.
Okay, yes, the sounds you are making with your mouth hole make sense.
Still no?
As much as I complain, I absolutely love putting out that type of quality work. It's very much a point of pride for me to be like, ha 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 ha, suck it, world. We did that.
Fair enough. See people. Okay, this is all her idea, not me. I just do the story.
See, and then I get myself in trouble because people are like, what if this happens in EOTU? And then I don't check with you before being like, guess we'll have to wait. Wink, wink.
Remember that one person? We didn't respond to it.
Yeah, we still haven't responded to it. It's still there.
So they sent us 2 asks, right? Well, remember, we purposefully didn't respond to the first one because the first one was, like, so spot on. It was like, oh my god, was I this obvious with the plot?
Yeah, we're sitting there, like, freaking out because, hey, somebody's actually picking up what we're laying down. Hell yeah. But at the same time, this isn't asked. Should we answer it? So we end up answering the second ask with, like, the vaguest wording possible. Got the friendship that we have going on here. Shit. I mean,
it all started with one movie.
Do mermaid on a regular basis and wait until some weeaboo falls into your inbox? I don't know.
Alright, so it was like the start of summer break. I was like deep diving back into the fandom because the girls I babysit, I got them hooked hardcore 2 summers ago, and they were mad at me because they couldn't watch much of the Oni. and they wanted to so badly. And so I was like, I was watching some anime films to cope. And then I decided to watch Sword of the Stranger, and I'm like, oh, that's right, Jay's voice actor is in this. Oh, hey, there's that new like wolf fox looking thing in the new season that's like buddies with Floyd. What if I do an AU? Who would draw this for me? I see Rena in the recent tab with the mermaid stuff, and I'm like, oh, why don't she seems to take requests, maybe, like, once this is all over.
And so she messages me, and me being me was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I've never actually seen this, but I've got some extra time. Let's watch it. And it ended up being like one of the best movies I had watched that summer. Which was fantastic because not only did you have me watch that, but like it was a whole summer of like really good movies I'd never seen before. Mel had me watching Sword of the Stranger. She introduced me to Lupin the Third. She made me watch Snowpiercer and broke my heart.
Oh, yeah. Snowpiercer was the moment when she realized that I have an angst queen.
Yeah, that was the minute where it was like, oh, I see. I don't have to hold back. Great, let's go. And just, it blurred together very quickly because it wasn't very long after that before we were like, man, this would be so cool. And Mel started talking about like, oh yeah, no, I've thought about X, Y, and Z and this plot hole and that was mentioned back in season 4 and then again in season 7. And we're sitting there being like, man, somebody should just make a fan season like this. And then there was just this moment of silence where it's just like, wait, you right.
No, from what I remember, I was like, you and I were talking about, the fandoms lamenting as season 4 comes out, or season 11 came out, and it was a Kai and Zane season, and it was just like, why don't we have a Cole season yet? What is this? And then it was just like, what if the mom was evil? I don't.
Damn it! Y'all didn't hear any of that. It's okay. It says there's only 5 people watching. I don't think they heard it. I don't think they heard a damn thing.
Okay, I hope not. If you guys did, please keep it to yourself.
Y'all didn't hear anything. It's okay.
Back and forth, and you were like, hey, want to collab on this? And I was like, oh my god.
It was just this hilarious moment that, like, if it had been, a moment in a comic or a TV show, there definitely would have been this point of like, wait, I can draw. I can write. We have the power.
By the power of grace. For the honor of all angst queens and Cole fans.
But yeah, this really was just a whole bunch of just perfect circumstances falling together. But honestly, the biggest thing is just be open to people who want to come and say hi. I'm not telling you to take your stuff off anon. I'm not telling you to leave yourself open to people to come in and be mean, because unfortunately there are people who take advantage of that. But just be open to people be open to people dropping in and saying, hey, have you heard of this wild concept? And keep your ears open, because who knows where it can go. Maybe you'll make a whole fan season and start getting a reputation as to the angstiest people in a fandom.
Maybe you'll keep collabing on like other stuff and like start lamenting over how you wish the season had gone, different ways and end up getting the attention of one of the producers.
Yeah, like the wildest stuff can happen whenever you just leave your inbox open like a crazy person.
Oh man.
So I've fallen in love with this brush on here. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Yes, are y'all seeing the way it's blending this fire? Like, damn. Talk about lit.
Like, what does a cat in a box mean?
I think it means interest or intrigue.
Oh, okay, so I'm still stuck on, like, the whole, like, thought process. I remember, like, way back at the beginning, we were even, like, it took me, like, at least a week to come up with the, hey, look at this stuff from season 4 and season 7.
Yeah, it feels like such a whirlwind because like that was the summer that we were getting ready to study abroad and do all these things. We're not terrible at keeping secrets.
We both are.
Sure.
In my defense, I was entranced by the memories.
Yeah, we were feeling the nostalgia, and maybe I might have accidentally mentioned an important MacGuffin a month ago, but no one remembers that anymore. Now do they?
Wait, what? You mentioned an important MacGuffin.
Remember, like, I was sitting there drawing, and the MacGuffin had been shattered, but I didn't remember that it had been shattered, and I was kind of muttering about it. And you were like...
Oh, because you were trying to draw it, him holding it, and I was like, it's in pieces.
Right, because I was sitting there trying to find a reference for it, being like, ugh, where's the reference for the MacGuffin? And you were like, Rena, no! So maybe we are terrible at keeping secrets.
We are. But hey, there's 6 of you here, so now you guys can be the ones privileged to know about the plot twist.
Yeah, that's what you get for tuning into the stream, is you get inside information.
Besides, the crystals, it's coming up anyway, right, girl?
Oh yeah, no, I'd give us another like maybe 2 pages before we finally get there. Can you believe it's already been like almost a year?
I know, it's nuts.
Man. And we were talking about taking over the film industry, and now everything's on fire.
Hey, that'll just make it easier for us to swoop in and be like, original ideas.
You know, I totally understand it being timid about that and feeling like you're going to be creepy by messaging a quote-unquote popular mutual. But here's the thing. Mel messaged me back whenever I had like maybe a couple hundred followers. Like I did not have a ton of followers whenever Mel messaged me. In fact, I don't think I was popping up on anyone's radar until I was doing the palette drawings, and even those, like now I can say, you know, oh, opening up palette drawings, and people will request stuff now. When I first opened those when I first opened those back in June, no one asked me for anything because nobody knew who I was. So what I did was I assigned each palette a color or something, and each palette had a number. And then I numbered each of the ninja, and I would just roll dice for what I was going to draw. And I would just do it myself like that. And it was only after I had been doing that for like, I don't know, 2 weeks before somebody ever asked for the first like actual palette request. And even then, like, it was still very manageable. I was only going to get 1 or 2. So just...
I was mad taking advantage of you back then.
Man, all of my time was yours. This is why I need to close my ass box. But the...
I remember you were like celebrating one day. One day he's like, oh look, I cleared my whole ask box. You open it and you got like 20 or 30 asks within an hour.
Oh my god, that was hilarious, is what that was. I
Rita, I told you not to do this. You didn't like get slutted immediately.
that was honestly like one of the funniest days ever. But my whole point with telling that little story is followers come in time. They don't pop up overnight. Contrary to popular opinion, I did not pop onto the face of the earth and immediately become a super popular artist. I might be a fun artist to know in Ninjago fandom, but in the grand scheme of things, I am absolutely nobody. Uh, and I'm just doing this for fun. Whenever I say to keep your ask box open, keep your inbox open, I really mean long haul type stuff. I had been posting stuff for a month or two before Mel popped up, and she only saw me because she's awesome and likes to go through the recent tag. This doesn't always happen. It's not always guaranteed. The important thing is to continue to make art for yourself, and that enthusiasm will follow. That enthusiasm will help you breathe into having fun and getting to talk to people. I can totally understand not wanting to talk to people. I understand thinking people are crazy. I think people are crazy. I'm horrible at talking to people. But recognizing that within yourself and going, okay, self, today we're not feeling like talking to people, so we're just going to be drawing and we're not going to actually spend time on Discord. We're not going to actually spend time in the DMs or anything like that today. That's a good thing to keep in mind. It will help you keep your sanity to recognize, okay, self, I don't have the spoons for dealing with people today. And it's a perfectly valid thing to do. The important thing is just don't leave people hanging. Treat people nicely. Assume the best in people. It does not hurt to assume the best in people at all. You know, somebody pops into your inbox and they feel a little abrasive. Maybe they were just really excited that you opened your inbox and they really wanted to talk to you. Give people the benefit of the doubt. And accept the fact that some people just think you're cool. It's okay to be cool. I promise.
Let it get to your head.
Don't let it get to your head, no. But just let people are going to think that you're cool because, hey, you're doing stuff that they haven't thought of because you have an entirely different brain. You're doing things that nobody thought about. I had never even thought about doing ninja fusion type things until I had read Sailing Coalescence stuff. Their AU is one of my absolute favorites because of what they've done with the ninja fusions. Keep your inbox open. Make art that makes you happy so that you're a happy person online. And people will show up. You'll find friendships, you'll find your niche, you'll find people who, you know, maybe you're not doing a huge webcomic together, but hey, you pop in and you comment on each other's stuff all the time. You have these reblog chains that go back and forth because inside jokes and hilarious stuff. Keep yourself open to these experiences, but also keep in mind that just every person's unique. Every interaction is unique. And just because you see one person having this type of interaction online does not mean that this happens all the time. Both Mel and I have joked about our parents being like, are you sure they're not an internet stalker? Are you sure? You've talked to them on Discord? Did their voice sound distorted? Dad, chill. It's okay.
It would be so funny if I could do that.
Oh my god. See, here's the thing. If I could, I wouldn't even, like, do that to trick you. I would just be like, I'm gonna put on the Vader voice just to mess with Mel today.
I would like, oh man, what would be a fun voice to try? I would try to do, like, the super deep, I can't think of the singer. It's killing me. I can't think of it. Let's just pretend I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait, I got it. It's like the, I can't remember what the song's name was, but it's like, I ain't got nobody. Just a gigolo. That's it.
I admit I had not heard of that song before.
You will. Okay, did you watch the first SpongeBob movie ever in your life?
Okay, confession time. I was never allowed to watch SpongeBob as a
Oh,
kid.
right, I forgot.
Um, my mom high key thought it was um worse than brain junk food. Um, which this is the same mom that taught me to read whenever I was 3. So I don't know. Maybe she had a point. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she was overreacting. Who knows? So I never got into SpongeBob as like a kid because it was a babysitter type figure, which I know it kind of was for some people. And by the time I got old enough to choose what content I was watching, without mom breathing over my shoulder, I didn't see the appeal by then. And so I've never been one to watch SpongeBob.
I was kind of into it as a kid. I wasn't like, oh, Die Hard. But, I liked the popular episodes.
Well, and just, it was a big part of some people's childhood,
Brother
Edgy,
totally stole $10 just from my mother just to buy the movie.
edgy, hate
Oh,
everything. Karina might have said, oh, well, that's stupid. Me. No, quit being edgy and mean, Rena. It's an important thing to some people, and it inspired a lot of people to get into biology and art, and that's nothing to sneeze at.
Just think, it forced the Super Bowl to air a 3-second clip of SpongeBob.
Don't get me started on that, because I will talk about how disrespectful it is.
You had millions of people willing to watch your halftime show, even after all of the stupid stuff that had happened that year. And you don't even show the whole thing.
Well, and just, it was very disrespectful. Nickelodeon has not done great in the time after the original creator's death. They've done a lot of stuff that's been a little disappointing, a little frustrating, and I don't know. It kind of saddens me to see, because I think one of the worst things that I can think of that could happen, should I get signed onto a studio and should I get to lead my own project, would be that whenever I left that project through death or through career opportunities, I think one of the saddest things would be the studio just completely derailing the vision that I had for that project. I think that would break my heart, honestly.
Unfortunately, it's not just it's not just whatchamacallit. It's not just Nickelodeon that's done that.
Oh yeah, it's a very big problem, and it makes me very sad, because I can't help but wonder, are there people out there that have these beautiful stories to tell that didn't tell them because the studio made it very clear that they wouldn't be able to in the way that they had originally wanted to,
An example of that, you look at the production history for the movie Brave.
Yeah.
Was a nightmare. But I was more referring to, like, as you said, they left for other career opportunities. Do you know the tale of the Powerpuff Girls?
Oh, hit me.
Oh, Powerpuff Girls was, like, still going strong as one of, like, the biggest franchises Cartoon Network ever had, possibly the biggest, if we're being perfectly honest with how much merchandise there was. I had sheets when I was a child. It was huge. The reason they picked it for their first and only theatrical movie during the age where everybody was making theatrical movies based off of their cartoons. But so they ended after 6 seasons, and then the creator and his wife still work at Cartoon Network for a little bit. And then 2009 happened, where they decided not to make any new cartoons and instead do CN Real. And most of the alumni either went to Nickelodeon or Disney. And I mean, most of them. And so Craig McCracken then who was the creator of Powerpuff Girls, is over at Disney making Wander Over Yonder and, trying to have a good time. And the Cartoon Network announces after the 15th anniversary of Powerpuff Girls, which, according to what I know, the creator had no involvement in writing the new episode for that. They were going to reboot the whole thing, and nobody from the original was involved except for some of the voice actors. They even recasted all of the Powerpuff Girls themselves.
See, that breaks my heart, and it makes me wonder how anyone can truly happily sign on with studios anymore. I'm not going to pretend like people don't have bills, or people are not going to jump on the opportunity to finally get their project on the air. I'm not ignoring those things. But man, how disheartening to know that in order to get your project off the ground, you have to essentially give it away,
It especially sucks because, the people who made it, it's becoming more obvious nowadays because you see all of these remakes of old properties, not just cartoons, but in the live action movie world to make a profit. And the people who made those original cartoons are not seeing any of the money.
Yeah,
they were the people that made this stuff iconic. They were the people that did the hard work, the elbow grease to make it nostalgic, or to make it a viable enough property that you'd be willing to reboot it again. The only reboot in recent memory that I think at least makes sense for not including any of the original people behind it was the DuckTales reboot, and also the Voltron and the She-Ra.
Yeah, and honestly,
those are things from the 80s.
Well, and I think that therein is the key. I think part of the reason why we're seeing those reboots with DuckTales and with Voltron and She-Ra is that's the age of the people who are giving the green light now. Is the people who grew up with this stuff, are the people who, my dad was born in 1981. Those people are beginning to enter their 40s. So they're the ones in charge. They're the ones who can pitch these cartoons and pitch these reboots. And they're likely to get a go-ahead because the people who are at the top, 50 to 60 years old, remember their kid loving this stuff. So now we're seeing those reboots, and they're coming out of a place of love and heart and nostalgia on behalf of the person who's making them. The other ones, the live action stuff, the shows rebooted within 10 years of their end, that's not coming from a place of nostalgia and love. That's coming from a place of, we need cash, and this property made a ton of money 10 years ago. And I feel like it's a...
years ago. Lion King, that's going to be 30. And it was 25, 26 when that remake came out, and I still think it's bullshit that none of the animators that made...
But that's the thing. The person who thought of the idea probably wasn't thinking of it from a point of nostalgia. They were thinking of it from a point of profit.
Highest grossing animated movie of all time now. Remake.
It really just, it saddens me because, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to nurture this art form. I want to be a part of it growing. And right now, with the way the American public sees animation and sees traditional animation, I'm not going to necessarily get to do what I want with what I'm able to do. I'm going to learn how to animate in 3D, or I'm going to storyboard. That's why I love storyboards so much, is, at the end of the day, we still need drawings,
I think you'll have, look, I mean, according to you and according to other people, I'm a very unique character. But there's always going to be nerds out there who are going to be like, oh, your storyboards were inspirational, or oh, you wrote this. And the point is like, even if, your stuff gets redone or remade and, there's no credit towards you, there's always going to be people who are like, this is the person who is responsible. This is who should be getting the credit. Fuck you guys.
Oh, yeah. And I will always love those people, I love hearing you go on about like the production hells or the behind the scenes about stuff, because hey, that stuff's important. We should know the beautiful minds behind this, or the struggle that something went through to be created. What I would love to see happen for anything that I was involved with was just to know that, for one reason or another, the work was worth it, to like I am looking forward. I am so looking forward to the day that I can just text my dad a picture of a credit scroll, and just somewhere in that alphabet soup of names is Garcia. Like I cannot wait for that day. And just that day, that'll be worth it,
What you and I should bring back when we go crazy and take over everything?
Ooh, hit me.
You and I should bring back having the entire credits before the movie starts.
Oh my god, yes, just force the audience to recognize who all's been a part of this.
Listen, I love the start to Star Wars, but it basically ruined any sense of anyone getting proper credit.
Is that what started it? It was Star Wars?
I mean, there were arguably a couple of other films that were doing, just like a little bit of an opening credits roll, and then starting the movie, and then the rest of the credits being at the end. But I think it was Star Wars that really was like, you don't need to know the people involved. We need to jump into the story. And now...
Damn it, Lucas.
it was an homage to, like, how it used to be. Yes, where it was just like, here's the text, here's the action, have some fun. Because I guess serials, they didn't credit everybody, which, I mean, a lot of people back at the start of film didn't get credited, which is why, honestly, like, Disney movies from back then are such, like, paradoxes on themselves, because they credit every single animator, every single ink artist. You have to sit through this, but they don't credit the voice actors.
Disney trips me out so much. Like, yes, I want to work for them. I'm very sad. I did get the rejection email from them, which...
Oh, I was wondering how that went.
Hey, I haven't heard any rejections from Nickelodeon or Netflix. So, those are still very much in the pile. And who knows, whenever all this is over, I may still get to go to LA, and I will hopefully still get to work. It's all... It'll work out the way it's supposed to be, I'll do the work that I need to do to get there. But how many people can say, I got rejected by Disney?
That's the spirit. Good job, girl. You can always apply for Cartoon Network. They're always looking for storyboard artists, I think.
I definitely did send in an application to them. Basically got the polite, hey, we're not actually hiring right now, but we're keeping your information just in case. And you know what? I'll take it. I will take that.
That's the spirit. Plus, like, just also, like, I know you want to go to LA, but, you could always... would kind of suck, but just be open, because Canada is crazy.
Oh my God.
When it comes to animation, their put out is insane.
The only thing that stops me from going to places like Canada or South Korea or whatever, and don't get me wrong, I am fully aware that the US is every bit as bad, is just how animators as a whole are treated.
That would be better than Korea, I think, though.
Yeah. I just, it saddens me to see the industry the way it is, but at the same time, I've now worked in retail, I've worked in IT, and I've worked in a PR company. And while Comunica was amazing to me, and I would never trade that time for anything, it is heartening to know that in a pinch I could handle that type of work and it would not be soul crushing. I'm not meant to work anywhere else. You know, I'm meant to draw until my wrist falls off.
Meant to work your balls off?
I said meant to work until my wrist falls off.
Okay, it like cut out on my end.
You're fine.
It was like, I'm not meant to work. Silence. All's off, and I was like, what?
I'm not meant to work somewhere where it's the same work day in and day out, and there's no imagination to it.
You can't stand monotony.
It's not necessarily monotony, because I can do this all day. I could draw forever. I could write forever. What I think kills me is whenever it takes no thought. You know, here I'm constantly making choices, you know. Do I put white? Do I put yellow? What color do I throw here? How do I use that color? What brush? And just, it's a constant give and take of the skills that I have and the tools that I have available to me. Whenever it comes to office work that I've done in the past, you get to a point where you just don't have to think anymore. And I never want to get to that point where I don't have to think. I might have to stop soon. I've been talking too much.
Gotta stay positive. We're gonna change it all. We're gonna, as I said, we're gonna get the credits right at the start of the movie, but it won't be boring like 99% of Disney movies. It's gonna be all at the start, and the opening credits are gonna be on par with the 101 Dalmatians opening credits.
They're gonna be amazing. Just y'all wait. Y'all are gonna get to where, you know, you watch movies here in like 5 years. Y'all are gonna go to the movies one day and you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is so different. What's going on here? And our names, just you wait, we'll be the ones in charge of that bitch.
We'll get rid of the boys club vibe at Pixar.
Exactly, we're gonna take over the world.
Oh man. Oh, wait.
It's gonna be amazing.
Would it? We're starting with toys. And these toys are awesome, so it's cool.
Have y'all seen that thing where it's just like, everything is canceled?
Is that because of Steven Universe ending?
Just, everything is canceled. Everything is cool when you're in quarantine. Everything is canceled.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, I love quarantine memes so much.
Right, like they're the best thing to come out of this whole situation, aside from my getting to sleep in, which I don't get to do tomorrow, as it turns out. I have a professor who insists upon us meeting virtually at the same time that we would meet in person.
Which is what time?
8:30. It's gonna suck. I do not get along with this professor as it is.
Oh god.
Yeah. But whatever, she's gonna deal with me in my pajamas. I won't guarantee that I brush my hair. Have y'all ever tried to brush thick Mexican hair first thing in the morning? It sucks.
I don't think I can relate, but my curly hair in the morning is not supposed to be brushed because you don't do it.
See, I have very wavy hair. Whenever I was younger and I had a specific haircut, I could let my hair air dry and it would air dry into Peggy Carter victory curls.
The Carter?
Peggy Carter. Like, it would air dry into that hair.
Oh, what you're talking about. That's a cool hairstyle.
Right? I thought it was fantastic. I went as her for Halloween once. It was great. But I do think I am going to call it a night because I should probably go to bed, and my dog is probably very upset that I have not gone to bed yet. She does this thing where she pouts and she comes and barks at you if you don't go to sleep whenever she wants you to go to sleep. And the only reason she hasn't done that tonight is because I locked her out of the room.
Oh, jeez.
I know, I mean. But thank y'all.
At least you got the thing done before you signed off.
Right? I cannot wait to give this to them. Thank y'all so much, everybody who showed up and turned up to watch this. This has been so much fun. This was very much last minute, and I'm actually really surprised at how many people turned up because I didn't make an announcement post. This high key was because Kat and I were screaming over angst, and I just said, screw it, I'm gonna go stream for a bit.
And we end up revealing the plot twist for our comics. So
you know what?
That's my fault. I take full responsibility.
Hey, I don't think anybody really noticed, and we didn't mention any names is the key. Yeah. So
we get called out for our inability to keep secrets.
I mean, how did they know this wasn't on purpose? Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night.